Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to VSL Season 6. We are at round number 3, and it's majority of people's home Grand Prix here today. We go to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. My name is Jess, your commentator for tonight's race, and I'm not alone for this evening's race. I am joined by one of our drivers who can't race tonight because he's on a pad. It's Risky. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I think it's going to be an interesting race. Obviously, myself not being able to race, I would have loved to. The guys on the two-stop at the front, I think, going to really struggle. So we'll see an interesting podium for this evening.
Yes, tyre degradation is not too bad around here. It's an easy one-stop. Two-stop is going to be a lot harder, also due to the pit losses as well. But we can talk that a little bit later on. As we're about to start the lobby, we'll quickly go through the driver standings. Now, Mata won last week, so it's a 5-point gap between the guys at the top. Which is Carl, which is leading the race after he scored a good podium last week on the two-stop. Red Matt in third. We got Bankai in fourth. Brandon fifth. We got Pete in sixth. Niels in seventh. Ryan Berry in eighth. Newgarden in ninth. And we got Acorn in 10th. Then we got Lee, Yuri, Ahmed, J. Luke, who's reserved on 14th place. We got Brad, M. Ryan, Kev, yourself, Risky, Logan, Iceman, and Davo. Rounds up the standings and the constructors, if I can find it, well, the teams anyway. We've got VSL Pink leading the way on 75, VSL Yellow on 53, Green on 50 in third, Blue on 47 on fourth, and Red in last with 27 points. So it looks like Pink are the most consistent drivers out there because pretty much almost all their drivers are in the top 10 in the standings.
Yeah, exactly. They've got quite a strong team as well in that Pink team, and it's quite sad to see my name all the way down at the bottom. But hopefully in a few weeks that'll change. But I think tonight with Jamie coming in as a reserve at Blue as well, he quite likes his track along with Kyle. So I think could be a good points show for Team Blue. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I think so as well, as a few people were discussing in the chat. I like this track to commentate. Hate this track to race in. I don't know why. It's just I don't really enjoy it. But as a spectator, as a viewer, it's just amazing to watch. It's 5.8 kilometers long with 18 turns. It has 8 to the left, 10 to the right, and there are 2 at the DRS. Well, there's quite a few DRS zones for overtaking. There's one after turn 5 of the Wellington Straight into Brooklands, and one of the Hangar Straight heading into Stowe. No DRS in turn 1 this time, just like I believe Abu Dhabi is one of those other tracks where there's no DRS straight in turn 1. As the drivers are readying up, we're about to get started with one-shot qualifying like it is in all leagues, and we've got one person that was being a naughty boy last week, so he gets a qualifying ban, which was Yuri for doing donuts last week. So I believe you'll have to retire from the one-shot qualifying in order to serve his ban, so at least he gets his setup. I think I'm right. Is that right, Risky?
Yeah, he's got a qualifying ban, so he gets his setup. Once he's got his setup, obviously he can do the first couple of corners, but then have to retire, as well as a 5-second penalty added onto his race time because of the unnecessary crash, obviously, at the end of the race, not finishing the race on track.
Yes, and because of him, we didn't get 20 finishes, which would have been, I think, the first time in VSL history.
It would have.
Yeah, it would have as well.
It was the first time in history that we had full 20-car grid and we didn't get a 20-car finish.
Oh, I really do hope we get it, because in other leagues I've watched, like Jakarta and stuff, we had it once or twice, but in VSL I really want to commentate on a 20-car grid. I've never had the opportunity to do it, so hopefully we'll do so tonight. So, strategy-wise, we'll talk about...
If Davis gets in for the race, that is.
Yeah, if Davis gets in for the race. Yeah, but if 19 cars finish, that's still an achievement, right?
Oh, of course. Compared to last season, especially. The admin team as well, I'd just like to point out, including yourself, have done such a good job. But I'll let you get away for this qualifying session.
Okay, luckily, it always picks a random driver that I don't usually go on board with a hot lap. So there we go. So we got on board with Kev this week as you had pass into turn 3. You just passed Abby and now heading just into the Wellington Straight now, which are going to be approaching the DRS Straight. 70% of the lap will be taken in full throttle. You'll be going almost 200 miles per hour around here. This is where you can gain a lot of overtakes around here as you're heading into Brooklands, break roughly 75 metres, and then heading into excuse me, Luffield, and now you're going to be heading to another straight. If you want the faster cars on the grid, you should be able to turn in heading into Cops without lifting as much. You can literally go in full throttle on these cars, depending on what setup you've got. If you have default setup, probably not, as you're now heading to the famous Maggot and Beckett section, which has caused a lot of people out a few times in VSL history. And we head towards now the Hangar Straight, which is another overtaking opportunity, another DRS straight coming up as well. He seems alright so far. He's currently sitting in P6 for now for Team Red. Heading into Stove, you just cut one bit of this left-hand side. That's going to be an invalidation. But luckily he hasn't done that. So you're heading towards the final corner of turn 17 and 18. Full power. And you get a 125.7597. And it's Carl, last week's podium sitter and the race winner from round 1, is on pole position today. And one of the drivers who has to make the 2 stops. So he's put himself in the right position today.
Yeah, it's a good lap from Kyle. I noticed as well watching, I was on board Jamie for that lap just because I thought I'll watch the reserve, and he spun it just before Cops and hit the wall. And maybe I'm giving out some commentating curses this week. But yeah, strong showing from Kyle with Bankai in second, Pete third. It's going to be an interesting fight, especially for those on the 2-stop.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has qualified their laps on the softs. I thought people on the 1-stop will be starting on mediums because I've seen alternate strategies work well, but we'll have to wait and see. We never know what the weather's going to throw out. So we'll go through the rest of your order. We got Red Matt in 4th, Matter 5th, Kevin 6th, Ahmed in 7th. We got Ryan Berry in 8th, New Garden in 9th, Acorn in 10th. Then we got Gavin, Niels, Brandon, M. Ryan, Ben, and then we got Yuri and Lee and J. Luke, along with Iceman, not setting a lap time. Obviously, Yuri with that qualifying ban anyway. So the drivers hopefully are behaving themselves and are waiting for 2 minutes because it gives us a chance to talk about the strategy and gives them to have a little bit of a toilet break or comfort break if they wanted to as well. 1-stop, I would say most people will probably try soft to mediums. I don't think anyone will touch the hards.
No, I think around this track, the degradation really isn't anything special. And as well, if we get safety cars and virtual safety cars, it's going to be such a struggle for those 2-stop drivers that I think anything but 1-stop really around here is ridiculous. So this new sort of format we've got, it spreads the field out, and I'm quite excited to actually be able to watch a race live and talk about it rather than being in the race panicking about strategy and things like that.
Yeah, especially, and I'm seeing quite a few safety cars around here as well, because that could play an important factor as well. It's quite sunny at the moment, but you never know what Britain can throw us, because we both live in Britain. It always tends to rain quite a lot as well, but we'll have to wait and see. So tyre life is around about 14 laps on the softs, 19 laps on the mediums, and hards could pretty much last the whole race. So if you get damage and pit lap 1, you can literally go onto the hards to the end. But again, not advisable because you lose about a second per lap. Pit lane loss around about 30 seconds. So ideally, that is why the 2-stop is not ideal around here. But you never know. We did see Carl last week nailed his 2-stop to perfection. It's actually his second week in a row where he's got the 2-stop as well. Bankai had the 2-stop last week. He doesn't have an opportunity to do it this week, which if I was him, I'll be very, very relieved about that. As we're looking at the tyre choices for the drivers here today, we have got mediums for Gavin, Niels, Ryan and J. Luke. Everybody else is on the soft compound tyres. I thought everyone would have gone for the mediums outside the top 10. I'm guessing they're seeing a lot more things that we're not.
That makes me wonder. Well, it doesn't. I'm assuming it's completely dry race then from the tyre choices. I think people that are starting on the mediums, all of the medium runners are on the 1-stop, so hoping to go long in the first stint, quicker in the second stint, which can work. But obviously, if a safety car comes out early in the race or like around lap 10ish, then the medium runner is going to be at that disadvantage with the soft runners being able to pit.
Yeah, indeed, as well. If I was the 2-stop runners, I would definitely pit as early as you possibly can, maybe as well. Maybe try and get an advantage, or maybe you try and stretch your soft in as long as you possibly can, because you can pit whenever, really. It does not matter, as long as you can get your tyres to last and you don't get any punches or anything, because we've seen quite a few puncher territories in the past. Don't forget Lewis Hamilton got a puncher on the last lap in, I think it was, I can't remember which version of the British Grand Prix it was. I think it was the first one, where he just about won the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen caught him, but it wasn't enough to win the race. So let's hope we don't get the same tonight, because I know in real life it's an absolute killer on these tyres, but on this game it's not much for a factor. You can last a very long time, but I remember it was very, very hot when the British Grand Prix was run this year, so completely understandable.
I'd love that kind of finish though in something like this. Can you imagine if one of the two stop drivers was in second and someone like Pete, for example, let's put the curse on Pete and say Pete was on the last lap and gets a puncture. How close would that be for a finish? I think it would just sum up this game, I think, as a whole.
Yes, hopefully no game glitches tonight as well, but we shall see, of course. It doesn't look like the person who's meant to be joining is joining, so we're not going to get a 20-car finish tonight. Sad face. So I guess he did not join in time, which is annoying, but we have to carry on racing. We can't hold the lobby just for one person, but there we go, as we're waiting for all the drivers to go onto the grid as well. Carla's going to be leading the way. We've got Team Blue leading the way. We've got two yellow cars, P2 and 3, and we've got the Pink Boys who are leading the championship in 4th position, with Red Matt in 4th position. So quite a mixed bag at the moment as Yuri has left the session. Hopefully it doesn't trigger a lobby restart, because I've seen that a few times. I'm guessing Yuri will probably have to wait until the start of the race, because otherwise there will be some issues. But hopefully we should get along fine in this race. Fingers crossed. I'm touching wood here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. Oh, wait a minute. I think
we're going
there. We go. 5 lights are on. Carl on pole, Bankyle on side. And we are going. Oh no!
I don't know.
And it is lights out, and away we go. And Yuri's AI car's got away well, but I think Yuri's probably going to get the place back. But Banko's got a very good start heading up into turn 1. Actually beating Kyle. Kyle's actually struggling. Redmat trying to make a move. Oh, there's contact between 2 cars. I think it was I can't remember. I think it was Bankai and Redmat. Yes, it was. Pete actually stayed out of trouble there, so it's Pete that's leading. But going side by side into the Wellington straight. I think we've got a safety car. Safety car lap 1. There we go.
Redmat getting disqualified for facing the wrong way on track.
What is going on with this lobby? So much. I wasn't expecting this amount of carnage in lap 1. Oh, it's not a safety car. It's a VSC. It's not telling me in the game, to be honest. It doesn't give me
Yeah, it's not telling me either.
So I'm having to look at the boards. 1 minute it said safety car, 1 minute it said VSC. But we'll see anyway. As we're underway once again, as everyone takes... Yuri should be at the back of the grid anyways. Everyone overtakes Yuri's stricken AI car. I think Kev got a drive-through penalty for a jump start, so you have to serve it within 3 laps of getting that drive-through as well, as Yuri goes off the circuit, heading into Beckett as well. I mean, almost... lost it down. I mean, having a good start up into 4th position. Not doing too bad against Matter as well, who won last week. He can't get the movement to stir yet, I don't think. But it's going to be tricky without DRS as well. We've got another retirement of Iceman, who spun... Where did he spin? It looked like he spun
It's on the straight, on the exit.
Hang a straight, yeah. So
yeah.
2 retirements already. That is not good. So we've got Carl in the pits already. I'm guessing he's taking advantage of one of his stops, getting his stops done nice and early. But, he's got front wing damage as well. But in a way, with a 2-stop situation, pitting now is not the end of the world. But it doesn't look like he's going to score decent points today. He's going to be losing so much time. I think there's going to be a danger that he's going to get lapped in this race. But he's a fast driver. I know he can pick up. Can he recover from this?
Right. Okay.
I think your
right.
mic's
Sorry,
back.
Jess.
Can you?
Yeah. Right. So we're going to red flag the session because apparently half of the field. I've just had a phone call with Newgard and Matt. Half of the field could go but chose to stop, and half of the field couldn't.
Oh.
So what we're going to do, this is never happened, is restart. So we'll restart the lobby, we'll restart the race at custom grid order.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
Oh, this is not going our way, guys. But well, these guys need to remember their setups, though. So I will leave the session before it blue screens me, which I do not want to see happen in this game.
Oh
but
God, that wouldn't be fun.
that would not be fun, because it'll crash the game. So I'm doing it whilst we're doing it. So at least it gives the likes of Yuri, Kyle, Red Matt a chance to get a second chance, really, to be honest, as well. So we are having a full restart as well. So we'll allow you to reset the lobby, because you are the lobby host. So whilst you do that as well, let's talk about some famous moments, I would say, around the British Grand Prix. Well, basically, the 2019 event, Lewis Hamilton secured the most wins in Silverstone, including his first home Grand Prix win in 2008. That he was very, very wet, and I think it was the most dominant British Grand Prix win. I think it was like about almost a minute. I can't remember, but I was watching that race, and it was great to see Lewis Hamilton dominating like that. But we will have to wait and see, of course. But I'm just trying to find some more facts as well whilst we go on as well. But yeah, that turn one start was very, very weird anyway, and I think people are going to be warned, do not rejoin before the start if you disconnect within the formation lap. And no, I'm not meant to do that. I'm not meant to go to a career session. I'm not meant to do that. I clicked that button by accident.
Are you bored? Are you trying to just
no, I'm not
race
bored.
on your own?
I'm not bored, don't worry. I just clicked the wrong button, but luckily I closed the game, so we should be all good. So also another advantage of these drivers are going to get, they're going to be on free choice of tyres as well in the race. So, no, not free choice, fresh tyres, sorry. As the top 10 will have to start on the softs. But they do have a fresh set, so they can go one lap longer than one-stop runners. But the two stops, they may be a little bit more worried that the one-stop runners could go a bit longer on the soft compounded tyres. And Bradley's annoyed that we're restarting, because apparently he had a mega start, and he did. So, fair play to Brad for getting the start that he did. So I'm going to join the lobby now, and hopefully we can get started quickly so the custom grid can be made. It's easy for us because they all get to start on the soft tyres, the top 10, so we don't need to worry about it. I believe everyone that doesn't choose their tyres inside the top 10, do they get disqualified, or do they get a penalty or something, or are they just going to let that slide?
I think it was put in the rules, every driver must start on the same set of tyres and same setup that was before. So I'm expecting Gavin, Niels, Matt Ryan, and J Luke to all be on mediums.
Oh, so everyone in the top 20 then. So basically, do they have to choose their tyre than what they did in the formation lap just now? Ooh, okay. Yep. So I think someone will have to screenshot that. I did not know that. Hopefully these guys read the rules, because I certainly didn't read that bit of the rules. So hopefully these drivers will be made clear on that. We almost got all the drivers in the lobby. We're just waiting for one more driver, and I don't know who it is, because I can't tell, because there's no teams, because it's multiplayer cars. I can't tell who it is. Might be Ahmed's in here. Might be Yuri, actually, who's having in... No, Yuri's here. Oh, I don't know who we're missing, but hopefully we can get people back in the session ASAP, because we want to get a race going, I guess. So, who's your money on to win the race tonight?
I'm going to say Pete, because he loves this track, and he's got that little bit of consistency that people quite like. Whereas I think if we're going to look at people like Bankai and Red Matt that are up there, we've not seen a lot of Bankai, so we don't know if he's going to be a little bit inconsistent, a few hiccups, and we know Red Matt's not had the best run of form in other leagues. So I'm going to put my money on Pete keeping a calm, focused head, and hopefully coming through to win the race. Not that it'd help Blue Team, but be a good race win for him anyway.
Well, it probably helped Pete that he had a good start as well. So let's hope he could replicate that for your sake. So what I'm going to be doing to help you guys a little bit more is I'm trying to find when someone does not get disqualified from the formation lap, but that's not working. So I'm going to screenshot the tyres everybody's on so they all know. So there's only 4 drivers on the mediums anyway. So as long as people remember that. So I'll put that in the chat. There we go. And, oh, we've got 20 cars. Someone has joined.
Does that mean Davis is back?
Pardon?
Is that Davis then that's in the
I
back in
think
as well, then?
so. Or did you not No, you forgot to press spectator. Oh, I
was
had
sorting
hope.
the grids.
Oh yeah, you
There
are.
was
Yeah.
hope then.
There was hope. That was hope. And I think there was a few questions on it. I'm actually going to check the rules to see about the weather. I'm guessing the weather's going to be. Or we start. No, it doesn't say anything about the weather. I'm assuming you're doing dynamic, right?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it on dynamic and see what happens.
Oh, and another thing as well, they can't change their setups. That's one thing I read in the rule. I'll read, it's in rule number 7. In the result of a red flag and race restart, all drivers must stick to the setups and tyres used in the first session. Anyone found to not do this will be disqualified from the race unless evidence to game glitch to prove otherwise. So, how are you going to prove that you got the same setup? I don't know, but probably because you have one saved anyways. If you choose a different setup or just tweak it a little bit, then you can't really do that. Or maybe just look at what's on the stream. I don't know. So yeah, so it won't be that long before we start the session because everybody is in that should be. Everyone's internet is good. Hopefully Yuri doesn't disconnect again. So fingers crossed for that because we don't want the same issue as last time. And hopefully a cleaner start as well. So apologies for the slight delay, guys. Hopefully we can get underway very, very shortly. Do we have... I'm just trying to think. How far are you from getting the lobby set up?
Grid done, so I think...
That's good timing. Matt wants it to light cloud.
Yeah, set it to light cloud because it's fair enough.
Yeah, it's
if
fair
I wasn't
enough.
advised, then I would have put...
Well, at least we know what the weather is. Light cloud for the whole race. Which I think is good. I was expecting it to be rain. I thought it would have spiced things up a bit, but no. So anyway, we're about to get cracking once again. Hopefully the lobby doesn't break this time. Please, game. Go, Cody's, do your magic. So, I think Risky's ready. So I'm assuming everyone could ready up now, I believe. Yeah, everyone can ready up now. So if they're watching the stream, they'll know when to ready up. And if they're not watching the stream, then tough. Joking. Joking.
Interesting argument in the Twitter chat as well. Niels was the one that readied up before the 2 minutes first time round, and there's now an argument between drivers about penalties. So
oh, it depends on whether they... I don't know, because they get a 2 minute... So I guess the 2 minutes applies to this race as well. So I'm assuming that's why you want to get rid of the 30-second. That's only fair, because otherwise if you do it again, you end up getting 60 seconds worth of penalties, and that's not good. So I know it's going to cause a few arguments, but it's racing, for goodness sake. You get your second chance. Carl and Matt get a second chance, so Niels gets a second chance for not readying up too early, so please don't. We need to try and think of stuff to talk about whilst the 2 minutes are happening, but there we go. All the drivers are there, they're readied up, we're ready to go. And I'm assuming the mediums is going to be hard on these overcast conditions. I'm assuming that was the reason why most people started on the softs, because it's not the best to start on the mediums at the start of the race compared to the middle of the race in these light cloud conditions, as I found in Silverstone a few weeks ago when I was racing in another league, which I'm not going to say.
Let's see then. Let's see if people can stick to the rules. Because I'm not the host, well, I'm the host, because I'm not on the track, we're waiting for Newgarden to ready up tonight because he's our second host. It's just unfortunate this has had to happen, but hopefully we'll get underway under racing soon, and this race gives as well Red Matt and Bankai that had that first lap collision, whatever caused it, just giving them a second chance.
It was very weird.
So, yeah, it all looked so clean, and then I kind of look backwards, look towards the back of the field, and those two got sliding out, almost like the Raikkonen and Hamilton incident a few years ago. Just sort of one hitting the other, and off they went. The rest of the grid, I was going to say, the rest of the grid got through relatively cleanly, apart from Yuri's car was 30 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, but luckily ghosting's on, so everyone's able to overtake unless Yuri takes control. I don't know. So we shall see. And I have to say, getting damage around here is usually quite unlikely sometimes because of the Baggett and Beckett section. And obviously lap 1, turn 1 to 3 is absolute nightmare. You have to keep cautious as well. And you don't really brake in turn 1, you just lift a little bit as well. So that's another reason why people can have a little bit of contact as well. So there's only a few braking zones around this circuit, heading in towards turn 3, as well as heading into Brooklands and Luffield, and also the final corner as well. I think those are the only main braking zones around this circuit. The rest are just you can lift really, or just go full bounce, just like in Cops Corner. So I think I can understand why people like this track, but if you're slow like me, then it's very, very hard. So we shall see. As looks like Niels is behaving himself today in terms of not readying up. So I'm not getting a tick under his name. So
no, all good, all good so far.
Oh no, not again.
Yuri's gone again. I'm gonna drop a message.
Drop Yuri a message. Don't join.
Yeah.
Actually, he won't be able to join the race then, because his name's not in the session.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, whatever happens, because we can't restart again.
We can't restart again because we both got stuff
long.
to do. Well, I got stuff to do as well, but
I have stuff to do, yeah. So.
Yeah. So, and obviously, time zoned as well, conflict. So, it may be late for some people. So, yeah, unfortunately, we have to get going anyway. But as Yuri has joined, but I think it may be too late.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to race, but we'll have to see on the grid.
Well, if you have bad internet, then of course you won't be able to race.
Yeah, that is true. If it becomes a continuous issue, obviously it will be looked into for the next race, and then we'll start having to give out penalties and bans if it wasn't to improve, much like a certain other league has done.
Yeah, but at least for one person, which I'm not going to say, his internet actually improved and he got a good result last night. So, you know.
Exactly.
So there you go. Never give up.
Second place by 0.04.
That was just insane. I had my Jeff in my ear, which was Cam, that told me what the gap was, and I was like, oh my word. And I was busy battling my teammate as well. It was just so much things going on at once. I was just like, I didn't really need to battle because he had a penalty and I didn't. So, but I still wanted to have a battle with him anyway. So let me switch scenes quickly before I forget. And I'm going to check if everyone has behaved themselves in terms of tyres. So top 10, yes, they're fine, obviously.
Yep. Everybody is on the correct tyre, I believe. And
I did screenshot it in the chat. So, you could, actually, I'll have a look. Yeah, it looks like everyone's fine. Everyone is fine. So, there's 4 people that were meant to be on the mediums. They're on the mediums. So, life is good. No disqualifications. Hopefully, everyone's on the right setup. There is quite a few people streaming their POVs tonight. So, if the stewards caught them changing their setup last minute, then they will be disqualified. So, it's not a rule that's in place in some leagues, but in this league it is. It just spices things up a little bit. It's kind of like a real-life race weekend, so I understand why this rule is in place anyway, so we shall see as everybody is warming their tyres up, and hopefully everyone has not gone default setup, because that's an awful thing to have. I ran it in Silverstone a few weeks ago. It is awful. Yeah,
around this track you don't want a default setup. You can get away with running relatively low wings at the front, especially on this year's game, because that was one of the biggest things. There's 3 drivers now disqualified from the formation lap: Newgarden, Acorn, and Gavin. So there's been a bit of an incident at Cops, but What I'm wondering to see now is Yuri's car is on the track and obviously in AI. Will he be able to get in his car before the lights? I don't think so. It's just how quickly will he get in the car after the lights?
Yes.
Provided we get to the grid. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, touch wood. Look, I'm actually glad the game's put him in the session. So, if it wasn't for the 2-minute rule, I don't think he would have made it in time. So,
yeah.
Thank you, VSL admins, for putting in this rule. Because it helped me last week as well, to be fair. So there we go. So, obviously, we got a quick reminder, because those of you that may have left the stream for a little bit whilst we were waiting for the lobby to restart. A quick reminder of who's doing the 2-stop tonight. We got Kai, who is sitting in pole position. We got Mata, who's sitting in P5, and we've got Brandon, who's sitting in P14. Everybody else is on the 1-stop. So, just a quick reminder as well. Everyone who finishes in the top 3 in a race, they will have to start do a 2-stop strategy in the next race they compete in. So if they can't make a week, then obviously they'll have to do it in the next race they compete in. 3 people getting disqualified. That's Newgarden, Akon and Gavin. That must have been a collision. Tut. Anyway, we're about to get started. I think I'm going to put Bankai for the win tonight. You said P, I'm going to put Bankai. Luckily, a much cleaner start, hopefully, than the last time the 5 red lights were on. Long hold. And we are eventually underway. And luckily, Yuri didn't pull away this time. It's another good start from the Team Yellow team as they make it into Turn 1. But Carl got a much cleaner start into Turn 1 this time with Red Matt trying to go around the inside. Oh, Bankai into Turn 2. No carnage from those 2 this time. They learned from their mistakes as well. Looks like everyone's got away cleanly, actually, which is a nice surprise, to tell you the truth as well. Carl's already pulling away by quite some margin, 7/10 of a second. Pete didn't get the best of starts like he did last time, but it's all about consistency at this point. And, you know, I think people just learned from their mistakes and just ploughed on. I wish people get second chances all the time, but at least Bankai and Red Matt are actually going to have some battles this time.
It's been a bit of a poor start for Newgarden down at the bottom. He's dropped himself 9 places, went a bit wide out onto towards the straight at the start. I'm rubbish with track names and corner names because I'm a driver. I don't do this sort of stuff. It goes wide at cops as well there, so he's going to have Yuri on the back of him. These two, there we go, Yuri got by, so Newgarden really struggling on this opening lap. Got damage to the left side of his wing. So he must have some heavy contact at some point during the lap. I wasn't quite watching. Rest of the grid though seem to have filed out into a nice little order. So hopefully see some battling soon as Acorn looks on Ryan Berry but can't quite make anything stick. First couple of laps we'll really sort of see the pace of these drivers, because once the DRS hits, it's going to be a very sort of nip and tuck DRS train. Can I get this move? Can I get that? Risk is reward around this track, and funnily enough, that is my name.
That's why he's called Risky. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. You got to take risk around this track, and any track, to be honest, because if you don't, you're not a racer. Just saying. You have to take gambles at some point, and I have a feeling this DRS train is going to grow as we've got Mata as well, who's looking very feisty over Red Matt. So battle of the mats here in VSL. 1 in Team Green, 1 in Team Pink. Team Pink is currently leading the standings. I know Team Green want to chase that as well. The current VSL champion from Season 5 almost tried to go for a move on Cops, but luckily he's not doing that. Otherwise, it probably would have ended up in disaster. I've seen some people try and go for sends around Maggots and Beckett's, and it just... most of the time, it usually goes wrong, so hopefully it does not happen as they are using the overtake. Quite a few people are almost running out of theirs already, well, getting into the 50% mark already, 40%. So I'm guessing that's just the danger of it being a high-speed track. You're going to use more of your ERS if you're stuck in these type of battles, type of DRS trains, as doesn't look like these 3 are going to make moves anytime soon. Look at the gap Carl is falling away. 2.4 seconds over his nearest challenger, Bankai in second, with Red Matt in third, Mato in fourth, and Pete in fifth.
First time penalty of the day then goes to Ahmed, who's been overtaken by Brandon. Got overtaken into turn 1. Brandon has a bit of a tank slapper there, which means Ahmed's going to come back down the inside. If he makes this stick, he's going to have the outside line, which isn't always the best way around. Brandon just keeping ahead. Now he's got Ben or Iceman just behind him. Will Ben go for the move down the straight? Both got DRS, both going to have ERS. This is going to have to be a bit of a late one. Can Ben make it? Oh, there's 3 wide. Jamie has snuck himself through on the mediums.
Is it going to be a double overtake, surely?
See that?
I did not see that as well. Here comes Jamie again. Past Luffield, then past into Woodcote, and you're going to head in towards Corps. Then, oh my word, Risky has done it. He's up into P12. That is just, I think, move of the season so far from Jamie, I have to say. He's usually the one that goes for bold moves, and he's fast for a reason, and if he can climb his way up the field, he could be a serious contender for the podium, if not even a win. Even though he's in 12th for the moment, alternate strategy could work in his favour. Brandon's going to try and go for a move past So Corner. DRS enabled, of course. And there we go. Brandon's up to 10th position. Gavin stays in 11th. And it's nice to see that Gavin's gone for a similar style to what we see in the Aston Martin livery reveal at 3 o'clock today. I actually like that livery, to be fair, as J-Luke goes again on Gavin by looks of things. He's on fire here today, but can Gavin fight back? A little bit of bagging wheels there heading towards turn 3. We got Gavin trying to get the cut back. It's going to be tight heading towards turn 4 then, and Gavin's going to have the DRS. I think Jamie will get the DRS. Yes, he does. So I'm guessing they're going to be stuck in the DRS train for quite some time now. I think the DRS train's from P9 all the way down into P17. And then we got one from P2 all the way down to P5 going on as well. Apart from that, everyone just having battles of their own as it stands. But I have to say, Jamie, the biggest gainer. Iceman. Oh, there's so many battles going on. It's insane. Iceman up into 12th position. Past Gavin. Gavin must be struggling on those medium tyres, but Iceman's on the soft. So expect, I think, Iceman to get past Jamie. Oh! Niels has spun.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That's a spin for Niels.
Yeah, Niels has spun.
Contact there through maggots.
Well, I don't blame him.
Wheel-to-wheel racing through there never kind of goes well, which is always the risky take around this track. In all of that as well, Yuri, we had a sector 1 yellow flag, which was Yuri spinning it out of turn 2. And as well as that, Lee got ahead of Brad. Oh, he's hit Matt Ryan. Lee has hit Matt Ryan going into the final sector as I just sort of come on to him. Matt Ryan, I don't think Matt Ryan got damage. It'd be interesting to see if Lee got any, because he just outbroke himself, locked up, and just sort of hit that slight contact that sent Matt Ryan round. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Oh, Niels is out. Niels is out the race. He's retired in the pit lane. I don't blame him. I think if it's one of those tracks where you... Oh, is there? We got a battle going here. Sorry to cut you off. As Matter gets past Redmat by the sound of things into Luffield and now into Woodcote. Wow. I'm sorry I missed that, but it must have been an insane move, I have to say, as I think Pete's on the back of Redmat now. So again, Redmat struggling. So, and I think Pete wants to gain some points for his team, because apart from I'm trying to remember how many points he's on so far in the standings. He's on 12 points at the moment. So anything can happen. He hasn't had the worst of starts, but he hasn't had the best of starts this season. He didn't get a good exit heading into the hangar straight there. As Mata and Bankai heading into Stowe. Mata gets the edge with the DRS. So Mata is up to second because Bankai had no DRS because Carl is around about 4 seconds behind these guys. It's just insane, and this could play a factor when it heads to Carl's first pit stop, which I would expect if you're on a 2-stop, I would say either the end of this lap or in 2 laps time, because that's what I did in a 2-stop race before, and it worked quite well.
Oh, Lee's done it again. Sorry to cut you off. Lee's gone into the back of Brad this time at the same corner as he did to Matt Ryan. So that's 2 of the blue team being spun out by Lee. This is some sort of plan they've got going on down at that yellow team.
I wonder, they are in parties, don't forget, in a massive one as well, and they are allowed to communicate with each other. But yeah, blue one in the bottom of the standings, and to be honest, no offense, Carl is pretty much carrying their team at the
Yes,
moment
he
with the
really
lead.
is.
That's why your team's not last at the moment in the standings. But it happens sometimes. It's happened to me in league racing. Pretty much all the leagues I'm in, majority of my teammates carry me. Anyway, Ryan Berry just gets a move into Cops, gets past his teammate Kevin up into 7th place. There's two of the Team Reds doing quite well, giving each other slipstream and working together as a team as well. If I was Pete, I want to get past Red Map pretty soon, because then you could use Bankai for some slipstream as well to start pulling away from these guys as well. I think we're starting to see more of a emphasis of team working more than the previous races, due to the fact of how close it is. As Matter, one of our first 2-stop runners, goes into the pits, as I would have expected at this time, and he's going to go on to the... I'm guessing he's either doing soft, medium, soft, or soft, soft, medium. We'll see as he comes into the pits.
Brandon following him as well. So 2 of the 2 stoppers now made their first stop. Kyle's just going to hope to extend his lead.
Mediums for both, I think. We'll see. Yeah, mediums for both of them. So I think it is going to be soft, medium, soft for those two. You can do soft, medium, soft for a 2-stop strategy. It works quite well around this track. I've tried it as well. So Carl will have to get a move on then, as he saw his nearest rivals pitting for their first of 2 stops. But I think he just wants to get the gap increased first before he pits, because he's going to drop down anyway, but you never know. Safety cars could be thrown into the mix. Luckily, no weather mix-ups at this stage. We've got Lee and Brad again. Hopefully no damage or spins this time, like we've seen in the previous few laps, as Brad gets the edge there. Trying to remember what turn it is actually, but Bradley, I think, gets a better exit. Now it's a long back straight heading into Cops. Yeah, Lee's got it. So Lee's up into 13th position on the soft tyres. These tyres must be getting a little bit worn at the moment if you're pushing too hard. Maybe the temperatures as well getting a little bit heated up as well. Kyle goes into the pits as well for his first stop.
This is going to get interesting now. This will be now. Sorry to cut you off, but
that's fine. No worries. Carry on.
now Kyle's pit. We've sort of seen Bankai struggling. Like, I've noticed he let Kyle go and couldn't catch up, which just shows you that being in clear air out in the lead is just such an advantage if you can break that DRS train. So this will be probably Red Matt's and Pete's biggest opportunity now, because all 3 of these top 3 only have to 1 stop. So this is the fight for the lead now. We just need to see who's got that little bit of an edge to sort of make the most of the tyres, so you can make the tyres run longer, see if the undercut will work, maybe try and overcut, because either could work at this track if you get the timings right.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't see much of a battle last week for the lead. Matter stormed away last week, so fingers crossed we get some battle for the lead, especially around Silverstone. A lot of people would like to win their home track, and you know, my prediction at the moment, he's doing quite well in first place, but let's see what Red Matt could do behind him. Not closer this lap, but I think maybe next lap he could potentially get him in the Wellington straight at the moment, as we got Jamie. Jamie, I would say, I don't know what to call him today. Jamie the Prancing Horse. There we go. Jamie the Prancing Horse has got another move up to 7th on track at this stage, as he's going to be the one that goes on the medium tyres for a little bit longer. He's got a penalty though, so he's got to make that up during the race, but he's trying to at least he's pushing 25% ERS though, so that's not good, especially around this track where it's mainly high speed corners.
He is in a really strong position. Apart from that penalty, Jay, I think I will change my prediction already to put him on for at least a win, at least a podium, potentially the win. Because if the front guys can keep sort of staying in the same sort of time, don't battling a little bit and not pulling away, because we see Acorn's only 2 seconds back, which isn't a bigger gap as obviously you'd see at some other tracks. I think Jamie could really come through the field on that last sort of stint as well. Unless, obviously, safety cars. So, final stint will definitely be one to watch, as Matter then gets past Brad at the end of the straight to Brooklands he did it in. Don't think Brad's going to fight that one too hard anyway.
I think that was just. I think it was just in Luffield as well. Brooklands is at the end of the Wellington Straight, and then we've got Then it's Luffield. Luckily I got my track map in front of me now, so I won't get the corners mixed up. But anyway, lap 9 and 26. We are expecting the one-stop strategy to pit. I was expecting them to pit around about now. I thought they would pit around about the pit window's up 8 to 11. They're not taking advantage of this undercut, apart from the likes of the ones on the 2-stop. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest with you. But we'll see, of course, as the mediums can last 19 laps. I'm guessing they want to push at the end to try and take advantage. As Redmat's got a penalty and he's spun. He's got damage there in, it looks like just off the exit of turn 4. And, I don't think it's damage. It might have been a spin. He just got away with touching the wall, but he's dropped down to 8th place, so he's no longer in the battle for the race win. So it's now a VSL yellow 1-2.
Oh, come on, blue team! Come on, blue team! I'm meant to not be biased because I'm in the box, but I've got to support the team because obviously I've not given good results. But this has opened it right up. I feel like we could get, if a safety car comes out, this is anybody's race. But without that safety car, there's Pete, Bankai, and Jamie, I think, are the 3 that could win it, unfortunately, with Red Mat's spin. But the battle for 4th is about to get a little bit exciting with Kev behind Ryan Berry, the charging Jamie, as Bankai, Pete both pit.
He's out. He's out of the race.
Oh.
He's binned it in. Oh, wow.
Safety car.
Safety car. That was good timing for the Team Yellow boys. Wow. Wow. That is just good timing. I would say otherwise. I mean, if I was most of these drivers, I would pit as Jamie stays out. Ooh, I think that's what I call commentator's curse on your teammate. You said he was going to win.
No.
I don't think he is now because he has to make one more stop. Everybody else, including the 2-stop runners actually, are pitting. So the 2-stop runners may not be out of this race win. So that makes things a little bit more interesting. So I'm actually going to check actually if it is a second stop. Yes, Carl's done 2 stops. So has Matter and so has Brandon. Yes. So everyone that's meant to be doing the 2-stop has done the 2-stop, and only Jamie and Kev still got to do their mandatory stop. So there we go then. So we were saying that the track cards do a 2-stop in. That safety car has definitely changed things.
Oh, Jamie, I had to say it. I think if I was Jamie, I would have come in and put the hards on just because obviously a pit stop around here sets you back so much time. But if he reckons he's got the pace over the guys behind him on those mediums to pit and then put the softs on, then fair play to him, because if he pulls off a podium here, it'd have to get a driver of the day, for not only for the overtakes he's been making, but just for that. But Kev staying out in the lead, that one has confused me.
Yeah, maybe Jamie could pit now. I think he just missed the pit box. Or did he? I'm not entirely sure. Are they coming in? They're both coming in. Yeah. So they're following my advice to pit, because they can catch up to...
Jamie's gone for a move!
Jamie, doing a move in the pit stops. Is that allowed because we're under safety car? I don't know. That probably may get investigated by the stewards there, but yeah, that will put
on their teammates.
Oh no, their teammates in the game. Then it's not like in a VSL where the game can't control what team they put it in, because there's obviously Jacko car as well, where it's the same situation where you don't even know who your teammate is in the game, so you can't really say, right, I'm pitting this lap, you're pitting next lap. Oh, that is bad timing there. So it puts Bankai in first, Pete in second, Acorn in third, Ryan in fourth, Iceman, biggest gain. Oh, let me see how many positions he's gained.
Yeah, biggest.
11. I think he's got penalties though. Iceman. But yeah, is Iceman in team... I think Iceman's in yellow.
Yeah, I think he's yellow. His livery's a little bit throwing off, but yeah.
Apart from Lee retiring, that's all 3 yellow cars are still in this race. In the top 5, I mean, they're going to be extending their lead by quite a bit if they can keep this up as well. I know Pete wants to win, so I know Pete's going to challenge Bankai so hard. I've seen him battle many a times before, but we shall see as I think everybody that's I think everyone pitted under safety car, I think. Who was meant to as well. So that's good. So it's going to be pretty much a sprint to the finish. Hopefully no more safety cars. And we'll just wait for Newgarden to catch up. It'll probably bring him back to this race as well. And then that'll be it. Ryan and Newgarden, they didn't have to do 2 stops, but due to the fact they got damage, they had to make another stop. So that's why they're on 2 stops. But at least they got another chance. I think the safety car will come in at the end of the next lap, because that's when Newgarden will catch up, probably.
Yeah, I imagine so. Jamie as well, I've just noticed, and Gavin both gone onto the soft tyres. So either expecting another safety car or reckon they can get the softs another 14 laps.
Ooh.
Oh, Jamie's in again. Oh, is Jamie pitting for the mediums now, do you reckon then?
Or did he realise his mistake? Oh no, Jamie. Jamie! I think he's realised his mistake. Softs? Again? So did he get damage? Oh, he said,
it's a penalty. He's having a penalty.
5 seconds stop go. I guess he wanted to get it done before the end of the safety car, because he's going to hope that everyone catches up. And you lose about less than, I think you lose 5 seconds or 10 seconds less in safety car. So I don't blame him. He can still catch up. So that's fair play to Jamie. Get that 5 second stop go removed. I think if I was someone who had a 5 second stop go, I would have got it served in the pits straight away.
Yeah,
actually,
that is a smart move from Jamie.
Yeah, he's last now, and a 3 second. Kev's got 13. I think Kev should have followed Jamie's lead, but there we go. It happens.
Yeah, I've just noticed that. Kev got a 5 second penalty when Jamie overtook him into the pit lane. Jamie overtook him, but Kev wasn't. It didn't look like Kev was slow enough to make the pit, so that would be investigated in the stewards as is. And Kev just got another one, I believe, for contact with. Bear with me a second. It doesn't quite show me there. I'm gonna have to scroll all the way down. But it just popped up in the bottom that he got a contact one for Brandon. So Kev and Brandon came together under safety car, and Brandon did not get a penalty. Obviously, he being the driver ahead. So I wonder if that will get investigated after the race as well.
Oh goodness, the stewards are going to be busy, guys. The stewards are going to be busy, so watch out for angry moments, I would say, in the chat tonight, I have to say, but hopefully that does not happen. And luckily Jamie has caught a safety car, so his race on his eyes, he's back on, and I think I'm just looking at Tyre Life. Can these softs do it? 14 laps, we got... Oh, he could just about make it. Actually, no, because the safety car is quite slower with the pace on the softs. Yeah, he can do it. He can do it. So can Gavin as well. Just about. So I think Gavin and Jamie will just about be okay. I think we're going green flag racing. The safety car is in. It didn't tell me, actually, I was going in this lap. But anyway, Acorn's going side by side with Pete Banco. He's got a very, very good start. Acorn then heading into turn 1. Kev retired from the session, so there must be a pile up in the background where he might have retired in the pits, which is no blaming to him. And we got Pete getting a run maybe into turn 3, which he does, and heading towards turn 4. He got the switchback done perfectly as well. Ryan Berry also on the back of this. Iceman won't want to jump in on the party, which he's going to try to at least. They had a chance to save their overtake. Akon trying to break some slipstream as well. Iceman to the left-hand side he goes, heading into Brooklands, Lovefield, and now into Woodcote. Oh my goodness, this is very, very tight from Iceman. Can he hold it together heading into this corner, which he does? Iceman's up into 4th place, so he's got to get rid of that deficit then. Ryan Berry, though, is not giving up. Carl, though, goes round the inside of Ahmed. They touch a little bit. That was a very crazy restart. Matt is also on the back of this as well, who can still get the win. There's just so many battles happening, but Bankai, what a restart he's had. Brilliant.
Jamie up into 14th, and a note on Kev. Kev came into the pits to retire and got another penalty for good measure, so I think that just tipped off the iceberg, and out of this race goes Kev. But Jamie already on the charge, going to go down the inside of Yuri then towards his final sector. Is going to be around the outside. If he makes this stick, once again performing the move, breaks late and just gets the move done, so onto the start finish straight. Then now he's got Brad to hunt and chase down. Brad on mediums, obviously Jamie on those fresh softs.
Jamie could still win. Jamie could still win technically, as Ahmed.
That's
here we go. Ahmed on the back of Mata, and we got Carl and Ryanberry with the send as well. Carl goes up into 6th place as well. If these guys keep battling, Jamie could all be all over the back of this
Redman's
as well.
got damage. I think that's Redman with damage.
Ooh, was it his end plate? It looks like
his front left end plate's gone.
Oh, as well, Ahmed. Oh, Ahmed, don't go too close. Gavin is there as well. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be an almighty battle for the finish. Ahmed then, surely he's not gonna go for a move into Cop's corner. He does not. But Red Matt, he sees his opportunity against Mata as well. Carl is going to be at a disadvantage because he's got no DRS. He's got to find 3 attempts to Iceman in order to get some DRS. He can't get it detected this lap, but maybe next lap. Ahmed again. Red Matt getting more damage. I think Jamie's going to get past Red Matt soon. Red Matt, I believe, will have to pit, I think, unless he can get away with minor damage around this track. Nope, he does not. He comes in. That promotes Jamie up to 11th, but we've got Brandon and Gavin going at it in the final corner past Club, and looks like Brandon stays in 9th place. Jaylu's going to have a little bit of trouble though getting past Gavin now, because Gavin is also on the soft tyres. But I wonder if Gavin's faster than Jamie around this track. I don't know, so it's going to be a tall order, I have to say. A quick reminder on penalties. Acorn's on 3, Iceman's on 3, Ahmed's on 6, Brandon's on 5, Gavin's on 3, Jamie's on 3, Brad's on 6, Yuri's on 3, Ryan's on 3, Red Matt's on 3. Everybody else that I not mentioned has not got any penalties. I wonder if they got any warnings though. Here comes Jamie with a better run heading into Cots, but Gavin, I think, weaving there for good measure to not help Jamie at all there, which is a good tactic to say the least, because they're both on different teams.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, because Gavin, as we know, is quite difficult to overtake sometimes. He's got quite a good defensive drive to him. Obviously, the incident in Brazil doesn't help his case, but other than that incident, he's put on a good little show for us. But Jamie on the fresh softs.
There we go.
I suppose Gavin on softs, but Jamie's fresher softs just gets the better of him there.
Yeah, can Gavin actually come back at him? He's trying to come back at him at least, but Jamie saying, nope, you're having none of that. But that's lost him a bit of time to catch up to the likes of Brandon and Ahmed. I think Jamie will be ahead of Brandon anyway, due to his 5-second penalty. I wonder where he got that from. I'll have a look at that in a second. Meanwhile, gap to the leader, 2.5 seconds. Carl is on the back of Iceman now. And I don't think he's going to get the move this corner. But can Iceman get the move on Acorn? That's the only question. Carl is fastest set to 1 right now. Carl is pushing. He is praised to the safety car gods, and it's worked. There's still a lot of people that can get this race victory today. Ryan is trying to overtake his teammate, Brad. And Brad's got the edge of him there. Newgarden also in the party as well. Newgarden is an example of not giving up, as he's trying to score as many points as possible. Don't forget, top 12 get points in this league. So you only need to be finishing 12th, and then you get at least 1 point. So that's a huge benefit to the league, I have to say.
Fastest lap as well, if you're in the top 12, an extra 2 points. So fastest lap, always want to go for. I have a feeling Kyle will get it on this time around, as was that Jamie around the outside of Brandon. Brandon trying to stay in there, but just misses out. So those softs are really working for Jamie, as long as he can keep them alive.
Yep, they are definitely at the moment. Try and get rid of that deficit as much as he can at the moment. 3 attempts now. He knows when to push. He knows when to go for moves and when not to. But there's going to be a danger that he's going to be out of ERS in the final few laps. And that is when he's going to need it the most. As can Iceman get Carl this lap? Maybe.
I think Kyle overtook Iceman
on
the outside of club.
Wow.
I think he got him at club, that's impressive. Out of the final sector, must have just had a better run than him. So now, can Kyle go and chase, maybe even for the win here?
There was a lot of people battling this lap as well. That's why we didn't catch that. As Jamie managed to get past Ahmed quite comfortably, actually. And I'm just looking at the deltas between the 2 tyres, the softs and the mediums. You only lose 5 attempts.
That's Ahmed round.
Ahmed's
Sorry to
round.
interrupt. Ahmed's gone round.
That is Woodcote. Yes, it's the end of Woodcote. So that is a lot of time lost there. But yeah, between the softs and the mediums, you only lose about 5 tenths per lap. So not as big as delta as some tracks, but it's going to get to a point where the softs will probably be significantly slower. So that's why Jamie's got to gain fast. Meanwhile, Iceman has been passed by Matter. Great move on the inside of Stowe. Matt wants his race win. And if he can get past Kyle and Akon, then he can still do it. Ryan having a battle with his teammate Brad again, but this time Ryan has the upper hand up into 12th position.
The yellow in sector 2 is Red Matt. Red Matt gone off at end of Woodco again. So spinning on fresh soft, I imagine pushing for the fastest lap. And he's going to go around again at Cops. So if he hits the wall, this could be him out of the race. No, carries on with that. Such a heavy impact. Still manages to keep the car on the line. I expect him to come into the pits at this point. Anyway, closest on track at the minute then is still Massa and Kyle. Just about. These two both have made 2 stops. And both have the pace to win this race, providing they get by the top 3. However, the top 3 of Bankai, Pete and Acorn are well and truly still in for this race win. Bankai though just has that little bit of extra pace, because looking at ERS usage, him compared to Pete, compared to Acorn, he's got about 60% normally by the end of the straight, whereas Pete is using his as well as Acorn to keep this battle alive. So I think if Acorn runs out of that DRS range, Kyle will snap him up just like as well as Matter.
Yeah, that will be the 3rd race in a row then. If Kyle gets the top 3, that'll be a 3rd race in a row where he'll have to do the 2-stop, and we're the only driver to pretty much do the 2-stop in all the races so far, apart from obviously Mexico where everyone was a 1-stop, even though 2-stop is faster around Mexico, just saying. But yeah, that I think Kyle is hoping he will score as many points as possible, but it's going to be a question of when he gets out of the 2-stop races. But he's a fast driver. The more races you get on the podium, the more races you get the 2-stop. But he's proven that literally you could do a 2-stop with any circumstances. The safety car did help him, to be fair. But I wonder what it would have been without the safety car. I think he would have been like top 10, I think.
Yeah.
But now he's 4th.
He's driven such a good race himself, to be fair. Jamie in 7th has also drove such a race. Is that, yeah, Red Matt on the end of the, is that out of Beckett's? Yeah, Red Matt out the back of Beckett's has retired, so they'll drive past him now on the right hand side. Safety car, it's a safety car. Ooh. Done 6 lap old soft, so I don't think he'll pit.
The ones on the softs, please stay out, as I have my mic muted on my OBS there. I do apologise, but yeah, safety car. That has changed things massively. Yeah, just Jamie, don't pit. Whatever you do, don't pit. Which he's not.
Matt Ryan.
Oh, Ahmed's got a drive through.
Oh, that's,
can't
that's
serve
just
that in safety car.
Even more.
You can't serve in safety car.
Pit. He's going to pit now for soft, but then he's going to have to take the drive through.
Does he not know?
Matt Ryan.
Does he not know? Ooh. Right, so
Matt Ryan and Newgarden on softs, fresh softs.
Everyone else staying out, which I don't blame them, because there's not long to go until the end. To be honest, in the situation around this track, because of the DRS trays and stuff, it's very smart to stay out. It's very smart to not stay out. It's not smart to go in and go to the pits. So, yeah.
Bankai has a 3-second penalty.
Ooh, so my prediction is probably going to be out the window.
Pete could win this race on penalties, as well as Kyle and Mata, providing that they stay within that gap. This just adds to it, because these top 5, top 6, top 7 even, I could say could still win this race. So it just proves at the end of the day, survival of not necessarily the fittest, but who's nurtured their tyres that little bit better. Bankai's been in clear air, so he might have a bit better tyre life than Pete. Acorn's been right behind Pete for such a long time that his tyres might have degraded that little bit quicker. Kyle and Massa, will they work together, or will they just go for it, push each other? Iceman just sort of sat behind. Jamie on them softs. Once again, I'd say he could be lucky favourite, but I don't want to jinx him.
I don't want to jinx anyone.
Well.
I don't want to jinx anyone. I'm not going to say any predictions because I'm worried I'm going to get it wrong. But one of the disadvantages, I don't think we're going to tell when the safety car comes in. So we're just going to have a look at the map, unfortunately. I think it's when the new patch came out that I'm starting to get more of these bugs. I remember in the there was one F2 race I commentated around here where I started to get this bug. It was December time as well, and it was very annoying. But it happened. I don't think I'm getting any race where I'm seeing safety car. I just have to look at the balls all the time. So Cody, please fix it. But anyway, I think the safety car, they have to have at least two green flag laps, I believe. But I know in some lobbies you can get away with just one. So it can, I think it'll come in either this lap or next lap. I think Bankai can pull away. If he had the start he had in the last safety car, he could still win this race. So I think the gap was about 2 seconds, I think. So it's still possible if he. But Pete will have to have the start of dreams. You'll have to have it on Rich. I think you can get away with having Rich for the rest of the race if you save enough fuel, which I've done many a times around Silverstone when there's been safety cars. So I think we're just waiting for Yuri to catch up now, and then we'll be probably getting this race started. Or will the safety car be saying, tough, you can't catch up? But we'll see anyway. Let's hope everyone catches up, because we want to have a sprint to the finish. And those are the on-time penalties. They're going to drop way down the order. For the likes of Pete, Carl, Matto and Ryan Berry, they're going to definitely be in some good haul of points tonight.
The battle on track for the final point for 12th place will be interesting. As safety car in this lap, I've got that notification just popped up for me.
I did not get that notification. Thankfully, I have someone like you in the booth. Anyway, Pete just wants to get going. So does Acorn as well. Bankai's got away nice and cleanly. Mata didn't, though. You're not allowed to overtake in the start before the start finish straight. Or is it? I don't know. It's hard to call unless it was green flag before. We'll have to find out. But anyway, Bankai leads. Pete in second. Acorn third. Carl fourth. J-Lu gets the move past Iceman, which is very, very key at the moment. Heading towards turn 3. Can Iceman get the cut back? Maybe not, because he's on the J-Luke's on the fresher tyres. Gavin, though, he's having a very hard time trying to get past these medium runners. So I think he's going to be in a lot of danger to try and get the final points in this race so far. Can't remember where we go to next week, but we'll talk about that at the end of the race. Bankai's already broken DRS range over Pete. Well, he just did now. Pete's getting back on him. He's like a Hulkenberg. If he sees these not in DRS range anymore. He tries to go back him again. Maybe Peter
Matt Ryan on the inside of Brad at Cops. Oh, not quite. Sorry for cutting over there. I thought there was going to be a move. Pushes Brad wide, but back on track as normal. Safety car again?
What? Oh, for good. I was about to swear there.
What for?
What for? What was that safety car? Was it a spin or is it a VSC? Safety car.
Safety
car. Oh, for goodness sake. I was about to say the F word. But then I realised that we're on stream.
Well held in. That
was weird. Did someone get damaged? Can you check?
I'm looking. I'm going to have a look at the
it might just been a spin. It might just been a spin. I really don't know.
The only gainer, I suppose, out of that one is Jamie. Jamie's got that extra position.
Yeah.
So,
but he's going to lose out to Ryan Berry, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is true. There wasn't even any, like, collision incidents.
Oh, it might be Fury. He's pit him.
Oh, yeah, maybe he got damage.
Yeah, he got damage, yeah. But usually, safety cars go out for retirement, not for just damage. But I had a feeling I might have caused one in the rain in Japan once on Friday due to me spinning. I hope that wasn't the case, but I was clueless to why the safety car was called out. But it might be due to my spin. But we'll see. As Bangkok, at this rate, we're gonna get no DRS at all for the rest of the race now. Oh, this is game on. This is game on. And I'm not going to put pressure on Pete. He's got the most to lose out of anyone now. I'm not even kidding.
That is true.
Pete's been practicing though. He's been putting like every effort to get the race victory. So the first race win was by Team Blue in round 1. Second race win was Team Green. Safety car in. Was expected because you're allowed to green flags for racing. We could get a different team in today again to get the win.
Will Ahmed get to serve his penalty?
Oh,
because he got a drive-through but hasn't served it.
Will that get removed though?
Well, yeah, because he couldn't physically serve it, but they're off again.
I think you can follow the safety car in, so surely you can do that. But anyway, Bankai again getting I think he got a very... Wow, what a restart from Bankai. Wow, I think Pete was being caught napping there as well. Let's see how Jamie does heading towards the final corner, because this is going to be the comeback of dreams if he does it at this stage, because he's starting in the back of the grid. He's already caught up to Mata at the moment. Carl is going to try and make a move past Akon into turn 3. Now heading towards turn 4 as well. This is going to be absolute chaos, I have to say. If you were... I wasn't expecting that at the end, but I'm glad we're not getting a quiet end to this race like last week. But anyway, Kyle trying to go around the inside of Brooklyn. He stays behind for now. Mata, last week's race winner, on the back as well. Fight for position. Jamie as well. Jamie, I think, if he doesn't get the move done now, he's going to be in danger territory. But I think he's just going to wait to use his ERS perfectly at the moment. He's going to lose positions to Mata and Carl anyway. So I think that's why he's probably not challenging for moves. If he stays in the pace of these guys, he's going to stay in 6th position, I believe. Or 7th, I think, maybe for Ryan. I don't know. I think 7th due to Ryan Berry getting less penalties. But this is going to shake up the order massively. And Bankai knows about the penalties. He's on 3 seconds. He wants to pull the gap so he can still win the race. Pete needs to push now.
Yeah, that is true. We could end up seeing a Pete, Kyle and Mata podium if that's the case. Oh, Akon got a bit of a bad run out
Carl
of the
on the inside.
He went over the curb.
There we go. Oh, it's 3 wide. Mata with the double overtake. Come on. Oh, it looked like a double overtake, but he didn't get the double overtake. As well, Jamie around the inside of Akon. Up into 5th, maybe. He didn't need to make the move, to be fair, but it is for position. He's going to get a good run onto the Wellington. Gets a good exit. Akon, I think, wants to fight back, so let's see what he can do. Into Brooklands now. Nope, he does not do it. Oh, he almost hit the back of J-Luke there. Jamie would have not been a happy bunny. Here comes Iceman as well. The gap now between Bankai and Pete, 2.2 seconds. I think Bankai might have just done enough to get at least P2. But will he do enough to win? We'll have to find out. As I do believe Ahmed is serving his drive-through, so he will not get disqualified, thank goodness. Pete's closing in again, so I think Pete's going to be going on to win this race. But who's going to get the podium? That's going to be the question. Can Jamie Dunnan do enough to catch up to Matter?
Oh, that's Ryan Berry spun Beckett.
Just past Chapel, actually. Yeah, just past Chapel. But anyway, Bankai going towards the final corner. He's not going to win on track because of his 3-second time penalty. But he's not going to be too disappointed because his teammate, Pete, comes across the line and wins in Britain for round 3 of the VSL Season 6 Championship. Kyle comes across the line in 2nd and Bankai in 3rd. Matter 4th. Jamie, I think, definitely gets my drive of the day for P5. Acorn 6th. Iceman 7th. Gavin in 8th. Newgarden also had a good finish. He was, don't forget, he was last, I think, before one safety car. Now he's back to 9th, still gets some points. Ryan Berry in 10th. Yuri started at the back. He's in 11th. He gets 2 points. Ryan in 12th gets the final point. And your fastest lap goes to Kyle. So he gets an extra 2 points.
What a race. We had all the technical issues at the start and we managed to get a very, very solid race. 15 out of the 19 finishers. I think as well Brandon at the end got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
That's why so it's
either he's
then.
either he's cut something massively or that's a game glitch. So there could be the stewards, I'll tell you what, the stewards tonight will be extremely busy.
I think they will. Let me just look at the gap a second to that, because I think it may be a similar issue. No, but it's not. That's fine. Brandon will stay in 14th. It's just waiting for Ahmed to cross the line in last place out of the finishers, but he's still finished in 15th place. And who gets drive of the day in game? I am probably going to predict it's Jamie. Yes, it is. Yay! So, yeah, Jamie gets my vote for drive of the day. Do you agree on that? I know he's your teammate, but you can't not give it to him.
You have to give it to Jamie just because of from last on the grid to 5th is such a good drive. Good haul of points there as well. But Yellow team again extending that gap out in the constructors.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Yellow getting their first win now. Yellow were on top before getting the win, and they got 2 yellow drivers on the podium. And I was expecting Pete to get the win this season, and he did it in round 3, and started from 3rd on the grid as well, so great to see. So Pete, Carl and Bankai, they will be doing the 2-stop next week. Carl for the 3rd race in a row. We're going through the rest of your grid. We've got Matter in 4th. He'll be relieved that you'll get to do the 1-stop next week. Jamie in 5th, Acorn 6th, Ben in 7th, Gavin 8th, Newgarden 9th, Ryan in 10th. And we got Yuri, Ryan, Brad, Brandon, Ahmed, Red Matt, Red Matt was your first retirement along with Kev, Lee and Neil. So a few more retirements than I thought, but to be honest, that was a very good race. Where are we next week? Because I completely forgot.
That is a very good question. Panic. Next week we are at Pete's favourite track, Azerbaijan. So that'll be a very interesting race indeed.
I like Baku to commentate on. I hate Baku racing in it, so I'm looking forward to that one. And basically, if you can keep your car out of trouble, then you'll score some good, decent points, I have to say, around this track. So I think expect a few more retirements than this week, I have to say. And maybe a few more safety cars if they keep pushing the way they do. So that was nice race today. And also it was nice to have Risky in the commentary box with me. It was nice to not do it alone this week. It gave me a voice, because if it was just me in the box, my voice would have been dead at the end of that.
Yeah, it's been fun. I might be here next week, depending on
your
on
wheel,
my wheel
if you get
delivery
it
or not.
fixed.
But we shall see.
Yeah, we'll have to find out, of course. But what fair play to people who've got no time penalties as well. But we will see you next week for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at 8 PM. Hopefully no lobby restarts. Hopefully no game glitches or anything like that. But we will see anyway. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.